I'm gonna show you exactly how I remade the song Limitless by Martin Garrix Mesto. This is what it sounds like. So the song is actually pretty simple. It can actually just be broken down into a lead, bass, and drums. I'll start with the lead because that's the coolest part. Nothing crazy, it's just 2 sine waves, one normal one and the other one is 3 octaves and 7 semitones up, and the sub is turned on as well. The crucial part of the sound right here is this FM from B. All you do is go FM from B right here. I turned it up to right around here, 43-ish%. In the effects section, a little bit of soft clip distortion, multi-band compression, and then I scooped out a little bit of the high mids. Felt like they were a little bit just overpowering, so I turned them down a little bit. Envelope 2 is not doing anything. Envelope 3, I went over here to the matrix. I'm affecting the master tune. You get to that by going global, master tune. I'll show you what that sounds like. It adds like a little pluck to the sound, but if you just add like a little bit of it, it just makes the sound a little bit pluckier. And then I'm layering it with this saw lead right here. It's actually a triangle wave, 2 octaves up, 2 voices of unison, and a little bit of detune, and then a saw wave with 5 voices of unison, a little bit of detune as well, and then this air can noise. In the effects section, a little bit of sine fold distortion, multi-band compression, and then I tried scooping out a little low mid, but I ended up keeping it. And then I also added this sample of white noise, and I chopped it up so it matched the rhythm of the lead. And then the only thing I'm doing with that is, again, cutting out the lows, and I actually cut out a little bit of the very highs because they were a little strong. And then so I'm routing the main lead and the saw layer to a reverb right here. And that's going to its own channel, so it's at 100% wet, 0% dry, a little bit of low cut, high cut, and then the decay is only at 0.7 seconds. I highly recommend you create these reverb sends like this because then it allows you to blend in exactly how much of the reverb you want. That's obviously way too much, so I just bring it back down to where I like it. There is also a sub underneath, which is just simply a saw wave with a pretty plucky envelope. And then I like to do this on my subs where I like distort it, compress it, but then cut out all of that high-end information that I added with the distortion with a filter. And then I'm routing all of those leads to a drop bus where I have a little bit of OTT on it, 33%, but I turn down the upward and downward compression to 50%, so that way it's less intense. And then kickstart, which is sidechain, I have it automated and turned on right when the kick comes in. You can hear that pumping sound kick in right when this automation starts. And then this is how the drums sound all on their own. Pretty simple, a kick, clap, and a few toms. And then he also added this like secondary kick sound that adds rhythm. It sounds like this. And then a few extra things down here. I'm not really doing any external processing on the drums, except for this tom hit right here. I am compressing this. I have it at about a 45 millisecond attack, so that adds like a little transient. And then the release is at 81 milliseconds, so it like drags it out a little bit. I'll show you what I mean. So this is without, and then with. One other thing I did, I wanted it to cut through the mix a little bit more, so I went to this pre-computed effects thing right here and boosted it a tiny bit, and then turned on clip. I'm routing all the drums to the drum bus where I tried compressing it, but I ended up not liking it, and I don't think it needed it, so I just turned it off. On the master, I've got a multi-band compressor doing very little, only 1.4 dB of compression across the whole thing, and then a limiter. And then that's pretty much the remake. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to ask them down below. I'll try to answer them as best I can. But this also just goes to show you that you really don't need a lot of layers, a lot of crazy stuff going on to get a big professional sounding mix. You just got to give everything its own space and reduce the dynamic range a little bit. And that's pretty much it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.